In the world of AI, we are seeing a tectonic shift. We are seeing a massive earthquake. We are seeing an environment where suddenly the fundamentals that we have started believing in have changed. And this is where DeepSeek comes in and delivers a product at par with GPT 4.0, and they come in and produce something at 95% cheaper in terms of its training, utilization of less microchip processing power from NVIDIA. They produce the same quality. There are many tensions and tussles going on at this point in time. And what we need to do is to look at that and say, where is the essence, where is the nuance behind this? Number one, I think a lot of the big companies are grossly overfunded, so they're fat and happy. And therefore, when you throw too much processing power at something, then you are basically utilizing all of that. So the mindset is to work with all of that power. Well, if you have less money, less resources, and even a slightly lesser quality in terms of processing power, which is what China had with DeepSeek, they became more innovative. They became more creative. They had to do this. This is the entrepreneurial spirit clicking in. And that scarcity made them stretch themselves a little bit to become more able to actually deliver something. The quality of people in China, who are the engineering piece, is actually of high quality. And this is coming through, and they have changed the approach in which the foundational models are being done. And it is now going to change the way we look at things. OpenAI should really be called closed AI because their models are closed. While on the other hand, DeepSeek is effectively open sourced. And that's a fundamental difference. The way they teach and the way it learns and the way it takes a prompt and a query is also different in terms of reinforcement learning. It actually takes smaller parts of the component of the query and then addresses that individually. Therefore, it uses less energy. So there are many advantages coming in. And lo and behold, 2 or 3 days later, Alibaba didn't want to get left behind, and they came in and said, oh, we've got Qwen 2.5, and we're going to be doing this thing also. And this is better in these following parameters. Bottom line is that the whole ecosystem has been shaken up. The whole environment where America had taken the innovative lead and produced and dominated the space, suddenly China's saying, whoops, guys, we're here too. They have data, they have people, they have resources, and now that new battle comes in. The beneficiary at this stage is going to be us. We are going to benefit from this new engagement and tussle because things are going to get less expensive. The bad news, guys, is whether it's ChatGPT, OpenAI, Meta, or whether it's DeepSeek or Alibaba, when they are charging less or it's open source, we are the product. We are the people who are delivering our data to function, to serve their needs within the AI system and the platforms to be able to absorb everything. So we need to be aware of how our data is being managed, where it's going. Currently, we're getting swamped by, Meta and others. Now we have another player in the market. I don't know. We have to start thinking about all of those things. There will be geopolitical tensions. A lot of things will be thrown and slung at each other. We need to address those. And we need to also look at how it impacts our day-to-day lives. So those people who bought their super expensive NVIDIA GPUs 6-9 months ago, they must be really saying, oh my God, what's going on? The bottom line on this is actually very, very simple. The bottom line is we need to be more resilient, more adaptable, and be able to pivot very, very quickly, literally within days, if not weeks. So the organizations that we are building and the leadership that we have and the teams that we have working with us have to have that ability, have to have that nimbleness to be able to say, my God, this is something new and fresh. What are the challenges? How do we need to pivot and how can we benefit from it? The advantage of something like this is the fact that it is 95% cheaper to train something now on an NVIDIA GPU, an NVIDIA processor. that means my existing infrastructure will give me 200 times more capacity to be able to train and produce. So therefore, my capex going forward will reduce, but my productivity today with a new thinking will go up. And that's the new way to think. That's the way we have to adapt ourselves and say, how do we go faster with what we have now? We have a new way to do it. And with an open source environment, which is essentially free, with an API capability, which is extremely inexpensive, relatively speaking. So whatever is available perhaps on ChatGPT for $20 is likely to be at $1 or $2 on DeepSeek. And that's our advantage, and that's our opportunity. So the message here is the world is changing extremely rapidly. Earthquakes are happening regularly. And in our world of AI and data, this thing is also happening to us. So we need to be we need to be aware, alert, vigilant, responsive, ability to absorb this shock, adjust, adapt, pivot, move forward. And that's today's leadership. It needs courage, it needs confidence, it needs energy, it needs a whole new way of looking at things. More on this next week.